So many people are addicted because they just want to feel good for a change. They just want to win for a change. They just want to be okay for a change. They just want it to be quiet for a change. They just want to feel held and loved and appreciated for a change. They just want to feel in charge for a change. That's what that feeling is that you're chasing. And it's got you by the fucking neck. It's got his hooks right in you, because it's getting you right in the soft spot, right in the bait, which is, I just want to be in charge. I just want to feel powerful. I just want to not think about this. I just want to be, whatever that thing is that you're chasing after, that's the bait. That is not how you get it. You have to believe that I am just as worthy to kick this shit as anybody else. And I'm equipped to kick this shit like anybody else. You have to believe that. You have to know that in order to get out of it. And it could take really long. It could take a really long time. I can't speak to how helpful this is going to be for you because I don't know who you are. I'm talking to the general, whoever happens to come across this video, who needs some support when it comes to breaking an addiction. My intention is to get you started. So, 2 things we got right out the gate. Death. Of course, right? We have to get the death card. And then temperance. The death card to come up. Death in tarot, for the most part, the way I read it, the way I understand it, the way I choose to read it and understand it, is that death represents something falling away, something ending in a cycle. The death card is an end of a cycle of something that you were doing or something that you were thinking or believing. It's a death to that. Okay? So if you think about that, that makes a lot of sense for an addiction spread, right? An addiction reading to include the death card. So, what exactly is dying? Well, we're going to get into that. I feel like the biggest thing for you is to recognize that in order for you to reach this next level of awareness, you're going to have to end a cycle. And the cycle could be as easy as breaking the cycle of disbelief in yourself. Just stop disbelieving yourself. Stop doubting yourself. Stop thinking you're not worthy. That would be the first thing. You're needing to be in a space where you are no longer doubting yourself before you can do anything else. That needs to die. That cycle of self-doubt, that cycle of self-criticism, that cycle of self-loathing, that cycle of self-sabotage, like that cycle needs to die. It needs to end. You need to be wanting it to, with these, you need to be wanting them to end. You need to want that in order for this to even make sense. In order for you to go to a therapist, in order for you to admit that you're wrong, in order to admit that you're confused or lost or ashamed or feel guilty or feel sick, you need to first acknowledge that you need that help. And the way you do that is by saying to yourself, this cycle needs to end. I am out of control. I am not in control. This thing is running my life and ruining it. So you got pruning shears. Pruning shears. That tells me that what you're needing to do is a small incremental step. We're not hacking away at your life right now. This reading should not feel like that either. This reading should feel like you've got 2 to 3 things that you know you're going to tackle that are completely doable. No one is expecting you right now to yell at the top of your lungs that you need help. Some of you might feel comfortable to do that and ready to do that after this reading, or just you've been ready and this is your confirmation to go ahead and do that, then do it. But for other people who are like, I don't know, why am I still watching this video? I'm talking to y'all, okay? You are needing to cut a few things to start. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Pruning shears is not a hacksaw. Pruning shears is not a circular saw. It's not a saw at all. And it's small. You just clip, clip, clip. You're just taking away a little bit of the dead shit. So you can see how beautiful the whole picture is, right? Sometimes when we're addicted, we also are feeling so bad about ourselves that we constantly only see the bad in ourselves. Oh, I'm out of control. Not I'm trying to gain control, I'm out of control. It's not I recognize that I feel like I can't stop this thing. That should be something that you notice, that you are at least thinking to yourself, this isn't good. You're aware, and the pruning shears is there to help you cut away the little things that you're not noticing that's so overpowering all the good stuff that you're still doing, even in this stage of addiction. You're still doing things that are helping you. And you have to believe that. Okay? Spacesuit, I'm not sure why. Oh, this is actually 2 cards. Spacesuit and Microscope. Okay? Spacesuit and Microscope. Why is this here? I don't even know. I got this one. This one, I was like, boom, I know what that is. But now that I'm thinking about it, now that I've admitted that I have no idea, now I do know. I think about Spacesuit and I think about Microscope. These are major creations that man has to be able to see things at a smallest level that, like, literally you can see inside my blood with one of these damn things. You can get down to the nitty gritty with that thing, with a microscope. And the spacesuit, you can go where you can't even breathe. Like, how amazing that we made these things. How did those things start? They didn't start overnight. It was small, one little thing that then grew because you kept putting intention in it, because you kept paying attention to it, because you kept focusing on it, because you kept researching it, because you kept trying. That's why Microscope and Spacesuit comes up. You just need to try and be consistently trying. No one says you have to win. I said try. Make the attempt. You know? Make the attempt. It doesn't have to be something where you win every time and you put this pressure on yourself and then you then decide, I must really suck. Oh, that's right, I'm not as good as they are and that's why I'm struck. No. You have to try. You have to be committed to trying. Because if you want to make a microscope, you are wanting the level of addiction, breaking that will be as significant as creating a microscope or creating a spacesuit and being able to make it functional. Forget about just making it functional. That's the level of what you are addicted. That's how monumental this is. So don't think that it's gonna be something you can just wake up the next morning and be like, I'm done with this. It takes small little steps. Your focus, your intention, your time, your energy, your focus, your intention, your time, your energy. Keep pouring that in, okay? Keep pouring it in. That's how you get to that ending of the cycle. Right? We got the death card. This is how you end that cycle. You try. You don't stop trying. You do small, little, bite-sized pieces. You really pay attention to the things about you that are wonderful despite the fact that you feel like you're out of control, that you feel like something is taking over your life and you can't stop. You can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop doing it. You can't stop hurting the people you love. You have to believe that even in the midst of that, there's still a part of you that's like, we want more, we want better, this isn't it. Pay attention to that voice and keep listening to it daily. It'll only get louder. It'll only get clearer. Okay? Sacred Rebels. Sacred Rebels. I don't know even why I'm shuffling this one, but apparently we need a little message. We need to give it, because look, here's the thing. In order to be temperance and go from depth to temperance when it comes to your addiction, knowing which parts of you and your issues and your trauma and your bullshit that you need to just chuck or recycle or compost, and which parts of you need to savor and pay attention to and to continue to come back to consume. You want to do that with some of the things that you've been through, because it's going to help you see who you are and what you're capable of. Sacred Fool. Sacred Fool. After the Storm. Wow. This card, I like this After the Storm card. And it's an owl. Owls are known to be incredibly wise. I turned it to the side because of the freaking glare, you see? So there we go. Wise. Wise. And it's a snow owl, which is white, pure. It's like a new beginning, freshly. I keep thinking about snow, you know, just like a blanket. Things like in the wintertime when the snow comes down, it's like a little treat. I love the wintertime. It really is like a little treat. Things are decaying. Things are like the leaves are now mush underneath that, okay? Things are sleeping, they're done, cycles have ended in the wintertime. And then we get this beautiful little gift. I know it looks dreary and sad out here. Let's sprinkle like a nice white blanket and just give you the imagery of a fresh start. Fresh snow is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It gets gross after, but it looks, when it first comes down, even coming out of the sky, come on. So you got this snowy aisle for After the Storm, okay? Because let me tell you something, every time it snows, it is so quiet outside because nobody is in their cars because they can't get into their cars, they can't drive anywhere. Everyone just has to stay put. And it's so nice for a little while. Then you start to hear the snow blowing machines and it's like, okay, here we are back to normal. But after the storm, oh man. It's like the moment where you realize how fucking lucky you are to be alive. It's like, oh my God, that was close. You don't even recognize how close you are. But every once in a while you feel it. Every once in a while you feel it. And that's that thing that's tugging you to say, you can't keep doing this. You can only do this so many times. Okay? And you know what I'm talking about. Sacred Fool. Sacred Fool. The Fool is like probably one of my favorite cards. I actually have a video about the Fool card that I break down, and I likened him or her to Noah from the Bible, because Noah had to build a whole ark, okay, a whole ark, and nobody thought there was a purpose for that thing. Can you imagine spending all that time building something and no one thinks there's a purpose? And can you imagine if that person is you? Sacred Fool. Sacred Fool. But you want to turn that around. You don't want it to be where you're the one who doesn't believe in yourself to the point where you think that trying something or sticking to something that is too much and you can't do it. You want to do the opposite. You want to think, this is so simple. I just got to show up every day for me because I'm worth it. I deserve better than this. I want to be free. I really want that. I really want that. And you know what? It's not going to be easy. It just is not easy. It has to be challenging. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable. Sacred Fool. I feel like I'm supposed to read it. The thing about oracle cards that I really like is that they have, it's like the people who write them, who really good oracle cards, not the ones that just have the words on the card and that's it. An oracle card deck with a guidebook is someone who actually is giving messages. Like they get a message and they create a card, and I don't know the order, but they do it, and it's just like, this is the message. And I really like this deck, the Sacred Rebels deck. Okay, here we go. This is why you got this card. The Fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not for the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated to or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. Now let me just tell you something. That little voice that's telling you to stop, it doesn't care what it looks like. It doesn't care if you feel awkward. It doesn't care. Stop, because I care more about you, and this is not love. This is not peace. This is not strength. This is not power. This is the opposite, and I'm dying, so stop. Okay? The sacred fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. It no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The sacred fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try and outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. And you know who's pulling them strings? There's a thunderstorm about. It is either headed your way or just passing through now. Don't make a thunderstorm mean more than what it is, though. You don't have to fear it. You might even feel excitement about it. After all, a thunderstorm is just nature's way of gathering energy together that needs to be released. With the release of tension, relief and freedom soon follow, often with a fresh perspective and perhaps the gift of a promising, hopeful vision of your future. Oh God, I really hope that you feel this way. I really hope you feel this way.